It is time for the big reveal of our regal raspberry red bedroom.
Hold me close and hold me fast, the magic spell you cast. This is la vie en rose.
Bonjour, I'm Vivienne, and welcome to the beautiful Loire Valley of France, home to the world's most spectacular fairy tale castles. It is also the location of my home, a small neo-Renaissance chateau which I share with my husband Simon, daughter Isabella, and whenever possible, friends and family. However, this is not our first chateau. For 17 years, we lovingly restored and adored a much larger castle until we decided to downsize. And now we're doing it all again, but this time on a smaller scale. So join us for some chateau fun, chateau life, chateau renovations, chateau travel, chateau food, chateau friends, and chateau love.
Welcome back, everyone. You're here for the big reveal of the adorable, gorgeous, jewel tone top floor bedroom that we were renovating last week. We got all the finishing touches done, and we had to get it done in time because I was on my way to Florida to visit my family. And as you can see behind me, we're not in France anymore. I've been hurrying so much to get this ready because I'm on my way to Florida to visit my parents, but it was important to finish this because we have lots of guests arriving as soon as we get back, and we have to have a place to put everybody, bedrooms and bathrooms. Please forgive my grubby appearance. I have not had time to get glamorous for this particular big reveal. It's been more important to get the room ready, quite frankly. If you love castles, you love chateau, you probably also love things like swans and peacocks. What would be a Florida swan? A flamingo, and I have loads of them behind me because my mother and sister and I today are at the Sunken Gardens in St. Petersburg, Florida. But we're not here to look at Florida, we are here to see what we did in the bedroom, and I can't wait to show you. This tiny, dingy, horrible space has been a work in progress for a long time.
Here's a photo of the room from when we viewed the property. It was used as kind of a storeroom, and it had 4 different colors of wallpaper on the walls, and in some places wallpaper on top of wallpaper, and it was a very heavy textured pattern, and so it wasn't possible to paint over it. It took a lot of stripping. And then once we stripped off all of the wallpaper, we were left with some pretty tired, horrible walls. Here's the room once the wallpaper was all stripped off. Still a little bit strange, dingy, and with a lot of dirt behind the wallpaper from the old wallpaper paste.
We need as many bedrooms as we can get. In our former chateau, we had more bedrooms than we could count, but in our current little chateau, we only had 4 when we moved in, and we're trying to create at least 7, possibly 8. So that means maximizing every space and doing the best that we can. So some of these rooms are bigger than others, but it doesn't mean that we can't give each room as much chateau style as possible. This room started out without a lot of natural light, and so we decided to use this rich, luscious, quilted silk looking wallpaper. It was also a challenge trying to figure out which furnishings to use in such a small strangely shaped room. It's an L shape, but we did inherit from the former owners a bed that is original to the chateau. It's this wonderful Louis XV style blue velvet bed, and that became the inspiration for the rest of the colors. We're gonna start with royal blue. That means jewel tones for the rest of the room. Now, the other big dilemma was whether or not to paint the woodwork. I grew up in a very traditional old house where all the woodwork was painted glossy white. And so there's a part of me that still gets a little nervous painting it any other color, but I went for it and painted the woodwork raspberry. Not everything can be as brilliantly lit as a beautiful day in Florida in May. And so we needed to find the perfect light fixture. In the end, after a lot of searching, I found one that mirrored the design of this gorgeous wallpaper. When I was thinking about how to decorate this room, it was really difficult because there's not a lot of natural light and it's so small and it was dark and dingy, and I was feeling so inspired to go with jewel tones, and I couldn't quite figure out why until I realized that actually we had just come home from Venice, where we had had the most glorious time and were surrounded by these rich, vibrant colors, the wonderful canals, and most of all, the costumes that I made for Isabella and for Jack, which were these glorious shades of gold and blue velvet. And so blue velvet, gold, a rich red background, just like Venice, and voila. Hey, we found the plant we were looking for. It's called a rainbow eucalyptus, and it's right behind us. Isn't that incredible? You're doing a good job vlogging, Mom. I'll put you behind the camera more often. So as I'm sure all of you know, decorating a room on the fly isn't always as easy as it seems, because there are so many little details that we don't want to forget, like the rug and the lamps and, of course, the chairs. Now, some of you may also remember that a few months ago, my friend Sally came to visit, and she and I found some fabulous 1970s gold tasseled velvet chairs, and you either loved it or you hated it. Simon hated it. Did I decide to keep them? I decided to keep them, so let's see how they worked out. Now, last week, as you know, I worked really hard creating the curtains and the bed crown, renovating the actual bed crown itself, turning it from a kind of dingy gray color to then adding some gold accents, and then making very, very heavy curtains for the bed. It was almost impossible to do because the curtains were so heavy, and also having to create curtains for this very unusual shaped window. Hanging curtains on this wall was a complex undertaking, but we managed to figure it out, and it worked out really well. Now, if someone needs to block the light, just pulls to the side like that. And for the curtains hanging off of the bed crown, we chose this beautiful royal blue silk velvet and a lovely gold silk lining.
The other thing, of course, is that we needed a fabulous mirror. And this one definitely did the trick. It's a Rococo style, and Simon went to a lot of trouble to hang it because it is really heavy.
Some of our projects we have to move as fast as a jackrabbit, but a lot of them go as slowly as a tortoise, like the guy behind me.
Well, if we made it all the way to the tortoise house, smell that.
What is it?
It's called climbing oleander.
Oh, that's exquisite. Okay, now I'm gonna smell it, which is hard to do with the camera. Wait. Oh, wow. Everybody got to smell it with me. Some of you may remember this secrétaire. We got it off of Facebook Marketplace and managed to get it into the back of our car. That was great fun. We took you along with us for that. It is so cool with all of its little secret hidden drawers and crannies. And someone can sit in here and write the great novel or do a little calligraphy. And so now I'm going to talk to you about carpets in our red bedroom renovation.
The other thing that was a challenge was a rug for this room. I had lots of rugs from our last chateau and they were all too red because this room is really a deep shade of pink. And I also wanted something very European looking. It was a real challenge to find it, but in the end we did. A few videos ago, I asked all of you which rug you thought we should choose, and none of the ones that I showed you were good. We finally found the perfect rug, and I'm so excited to unveil it to you now.
I wanted to show you this. This is a box that I made many years ago. I actually did the design myself, and it's needlepoint and petit point. There's Simon and me and a couple of our friends. And then I put the top on an old box, and I think it goes actually quite well with the colors in here. And now it's time to really add some magic to this room. It's a chateau. So of course, there are a few things we need to have. We need to have some beautiful gilded antique mirrors. We need to have some lovely artwork, and you know that I love tapestries. This tapestry is made by Aubusson and is a copy of the original tapestry that was designed by the pre-Raphaelite painter Edward Burne-Jones. I love the pre-Raphaelites, and this one is so much fun. And of course, I love anything that has to do with harpists, with our lovely daughter Isabella being a wonderful harpist and me being a very amateur harpist. Well, we can get chateau inspiration absolutely anywhere, even here in Florida, and nothing is more romantic than a beautiful vine-covered arbor.
I love that.
It's pretty, isn't it?
I love it. Looks like lace.
It's beautiful. I've had these wonderful tapestry pillowcases for years, and finally I think they go really well with the colors in here and also with the beautiful tapestry. All sorts of styles in this room at the moment. We have everything from pre-Raphaelite to a little bit of 18th century glamour to Renaissance rich jewel tone colors, and even a couple of very fabulous mustard gold 1970s chairs. As a happy nod to the Venice Carnival, which inspired all of these colors, I'm putting up the masks that we made for Jack and Isabella, actually up on the wall. I think that they look really fun. I'm also getting a lot of inspiration here from the water features. We definitely want to do a makeover of our garden. It's got a lot going for it, but there are certainly some things that could be improved. And at our last chateau, we had a wonderful private lake. At our new one, we have
let's call it a water feature that definitely needs something. It needs something. And I just love seeing what they've done around here. And all these rooms that they've created with these pathways. It's not a very big space where we are, but it's really incredible what they've done. I'm converting an inexpensive little table frame into a wall frame. And as a final touch, we have a couple of gorgeous framed photos of our trip to Venice. We're about to go see some dolphins. I promised all of you a big reveal. I'm going to give you a big reveal. It's coming actually right after this. But we had to tease Simon a little bit because all of you know how much he loves to be out on the water sailing. And here we are out on the water sailing, going in search of dolphins. If any of you out there like dolphins, we're going to show you some, I hope. And you know what? My big reveal is going to be pretty fantastic. Seeing some dolphins is actually going to probably rival seeing our big reveal. That's definitely my baby. There's a baby. She's got tiny. Oh my gosh, there's all of it going to be in the other. Yes, it is wonderful.
And they have, when they go under, they'll have a circle on the water called their footprint. Manatees do it too. I was in the pool the other day. Oh, look at them all.
How cool is that?
So let's all send Simon a huge hug. He's missing out being on the water after all of his DIY. We're trying to take a FaceTime video. And Mirko's on tour. Where are you, Mirko?
Yeah?
Where are you?
I'm in Kansas City.
Okay, Kansas City, here you come.
Show in an hour.
All right.
Ciao, baby.
Yeah.
This looks amazing.
Do you like it?
Wow, it's beautiful. I love what you did with the masks.
Yeah.
Yes, inspired by you and Jack.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, this is stunning.
it's lovely. Well
That's
done.
gorgeous. Look at that tapestry.
Well done. It's a lovely job in here.
Seeing the Baldican.
Super. Yeah. Well, it took a while to do it, but
Yeah, but it's looking gorgeous now.
the wallpaper looks good, doesn't it? I like the wallpaper.
Oh yeah, the wallpaper's amazing. I like the
And
contrast
I like the colour,
between
the
two
blue and
colours.
I like the blue and the red.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
And even
Well done,
this
Mama.
gold, which is
The gold chairs. So not everybody can remember, but Simon was not a huge fan of the gold chairs.
I'm not. But they look good in here. Yeah, they look good.
And they're extremely comfortable. Why don't you two have a seat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's comfy. Wow, that
it's
feels really
comfortable. I
nice.
like it. Yeah, it's nice.
That's surprisingly comfy because they don't look like they would be. They look like very decorative.
Very
really
nice.
nice.
It's nice in here, yeah.
I think we should toast to a beautiful job well done.
Here, here.
Do you think anybody will notice that there's no champagne in these glasses?
I'm sure your mother will edit that out.
I think I need a real glass of champagne now after all. Another room done.
Another room done.
Woo!
What you're even talking about? Not a clue. What the heck was all that?
I don't know.
I think you go around to fun places and just enjoy yourself and take a lot of videos. Are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Get it.
He's telling me off about turning the lights out while I'm trying to film my big reveal.
Oh my god.
can't wait to see you next week. We are starting lots of new projects. I will be home and back to work. See you then. We love you. See you next week.